Hello. Hi everyone. Welcome to my channel. We are going to start a new series on Python. So Python is a general purpose interpreter language. It is a high level programming language which is interactive, based on interpreter, and also has OOPS concepts, object oriented concepts. It is derived from many other languages like C, C++, and other scripting languages. So there are many pros and cons in Python. So the main pros are it is easy to learn. Easy to learn is in the sense of the syntax is not very complex. It is very easy to understand for anyone, and it is beginner friendly. It has readability, high readability. So the program can be understood easily by anyone. And the other is it is portable. Portable means we can write program in one machine and can execute this program in any other machines by installing Python. It is extensible. Python is extensible. We can write modules in C, C++ and integrate with Python. It has broad and extensive libraries. There are thousands of libraries in Python which are used in various applications. The cons are mainly when compared to Java or C++, Python programming is a very slow language. Its computational speed is slow, but memory usage is very high. In Python, multi-threading is complex because of GIL. GIL is nothing but global interpreter lock. Global interpreter lock is a mechanism, you can say, that a process can hold interpreter. Only one process can hold interpreter at one time. If we want to run parallelly different processors, it is not possible because of this GIL. But there are still some libraries which can go under the radar. And it has some security issues as this is the open source language and has thousands of libraries. There are malicious libraries which are determinantal for our security. So while installing our libraries, we have to see the credibility of the source. So, let us go to Python environmental setup. So go to Google and just type Python download. You can see the first website is an official website of Python. Go to download Python. You can see here there is the latest version of the for Windows, which is 2.11.3. If we click on this, we will get a setup file. If we need for Linux or Mac OS, there are other download setups here. So for Windows, just download Python 3.11.3 setup file. You can see when you open the setup file, you will see a console like this. A window will be open. Now we have to install Python. So here, click on this checkbox, add Python to path. It will add this Python to our environmental variables in the Windows. It is important to launch Python from command prompt. Here you can see it will ask for permission to allow to make changes in your device. Once you allow it, setup will be start, and it will be installed successfully. So once we install Python successfully, we can check whether it is installed or not from command prompt by typing Python. Here see, I have already installed 3.9 version, so it's showing as 3.9. You can check the version by Python -version. It will give us the Python version which is installed in your machine. And if you haven't clicked, if you haven't checkbox the add Python to path, when you type here Python, this command will be not recognized by the command prompt. So in order to recognize this command, Python command by command prompt, you have to add the Python to path variable. This is important. So now our Python is installed. Once our Python is installed, we have different text editors, different IDEs where we can write Python. The most popular IDE is PyCharm. So this is my PyCharm. Here you can open a new, create a new project or open existing projects. If I open an existing project, so this is my existing PyCharm project. Here I can run this code by clicking on run and run 5 minutes or shift F10. We have debug option also, and we have a shortcut to run the current file. This is my work area where I can edit my program, and I need to add my here I can add a new file and create another program in the same project. This is my terminal where I can execute my project using command prompt or PowerShell. If I run my project, I can see my output here. So this is PyCharm ID. So this is one IDE of Python. We have different IDEs. Python inbuilt has an editor which is idle. This is a Python inbuilt shell. Here we can directly enter our commands. If we want to write a program, then go to file, click on new file. You will be opened a new file. You can save this file. You can save this file anywhere as .py extension and write your program. Save it, and you can run from run module. Your output will be seen in idle shells. So this is inbuilt Python editor. We have another popular editor which is nothing but VS Code. This VS Code, there are plugins. So we install Python plugin, and then we can add a new file. Save this. And now you can write your program. Okay. Now you can execute this program. Here we have something called console, terminal, or debug console. So in this, you can change this terminal here. Here it is in default, by default it is using PowerShell as a terminal. We can change this to, it is loaded. We can change, once this is loaded, we can change it to CMD or any other terminal which are available in your machines. Okay, so here I can directly go to downloads, Python samples.py. You can see our output is here. There is another method to download Python, which is nothing but Anaconda. So this is Anaconda, which is a distribution of Python mainly used for data sets. So you can go to the Anaconda official website and pre-download Anaconda for Windows, Mac, and Linux. So for Windows, there are more than 8,000 open source data science and machine learning libraries which are inbuilt in this Anaconda. So once you build Anaconda, you will get an Anaconda navigator. And this Anaconda is installed along with Jupyter Notebook and Spider IDE. So this is Spider IDE came along with Anaconda. So here, this is my program editor. I can edit my programs or write new programs here. This is my console, and this is my usage where I can say my variables, variable explorer. So if I run this program from run, so here we can see the output. It's going to take some time. Yes, here it is. Now just say run. See, here my variable has been appeared, and the value I have given to it, and what is the type of the variable, and what is the size of the variable. All information about my variable is available here now, and I can see output in our main console. So this is one ID. It came along with the Jupyter Notebook Anaconda 3. So it is also installed by Jupyter. So I can open my Jupyter in web browser. So here, this is my web browser. See, by default, it has opened in a admin folder. So I can go to downloads, and I can create a new folder from here. Let us say this is my untitled newly created folder. Rename the folder as programs. Rename. Okay. Now I can open a new notebook, which is nothing but Python 3 notebook. Going to take some time to load. As I have opened many IDs, system has become some slow. Yes, this is my Jupyter notebook. You can see here, we can name our notebook as a, let's say this is test. So I will name it as a test notebook. Rename. These are my, this is a cell. In this cell, we can write our program or any command. Let's say, hello. By pressing shift and enter, press enter, we can execute this cell. You can save this cell from here, save. You can run this cell by clicking on run or by pressing shift enter. There are three types of cells. One is our program editor cell, which is called as code cell. The other is markdown cells. Markdown cells are used to write headings like heading 2, heading 1, like, and other. This is a markdown cell, which is usually used for writing the markdown language. So there is another raw cell, which is nothing but just a text cell. So if we want to restart our kernel, go to kernel, restart, and we can also clear our outputs by restart and clear output. We can run our all cells by restart and run all. We can interrupt any cell which is, if there is a while loop going on, infinite while loop. So it can be interrupted from here. So this is Jupyter notebook, and we can add new cells above and below by pressing A, shortcut A, and B below. So if I take this cell, just press A to add a cell above, press B to add a cell below, which is a shortcut. Or you can go to insert cell above, insert cell below. We can arrange our cells by pressing up and down arrows. So this is Jupyter notebook. There is a popular editor which is not a, we cannot execute our programs in that editor. We can only write our programs, which is Sublime Text. So this is Sublime Text 3. So we can only write our programs here. Usually we are not going to execute our programs here through Sublime. To execute this program, we have to go to command prompt and then go to that folder, and then you can execute this. Like this. So this is another editor, popular editor, where we only write our programs. There is Git bash, which mimics the terminal from Linux. So this is a imitation of, you can say, Linux terminals. So here there is a popular editor which is called as Vim editor. We can open our programs or write our programs here using Vim editor. So in Linux, basically we use Vim editors to write our programs. There are other editors which are popular, but what I prefer is Vim editor. Press I to insert and edit our program or write a new program. Once I complete editing my program, press escape, and to save we use :WQ, like here, :WQ, that is to save our program. Now our program has been saved. Now I can run this Python. I can open a new file by typing vim and file name. Now my new file has been opened with the name new.py. Here again I press I to start writing my code. Print new file. So to save this, again I type colon WQ and execute file here. So this is another uh, editor where we write our programs. There are many other editors, but what I use is one of these. Mostly I use go to Kali Linux and I use terminal to write my programs in Vim editor. So these are some popular editors and IDEs which are mainly used to write Python programs, because Python has these extensive libraries and thousands of libraries which are contributed by many individuals. This Python program is extensively used in various fields, like Python can be used in web development. In web development, Python used by libraries Django and Flask. It can be used in app development by Kiwi library. It can be used in game development by Pygame library. It can be used in data science by NumPy, Pandas, Python, and many other libraries. It can be used in data visualization. Like there are libraries in data visualization like Matplotlib, Tbon, etc. It can be used in automation. In automation, there are libraries like Selenium, unit test. It can also be these Selenium and unit test are mainly used in automation testing. For automation scripting, again there are other libraries like requests. There is another library which is Beautiful Soap, BS4, and there are many other applications where we use other libraries to achieve our goal. So the Python is not, you can say, the Python is not restricted to any one field. It is now extensively used in all fields. Like even in security, we have something called sockets, network security or networking. We have something called sockets, and it is used to write programs for cross-site scripting, injections to create different viruses. And many other like toolkits, rootkits. It is extensively used in all types of fields. So The libraries in Python play a main pivotal role in many fields. Okay. Now we have seen how to set up our Python environment. What are the tools can be used to write a Python in a Python program? What are the IDEs? Mainly popular IDEs like PyCharm and Spider, Jupyter, and text editors like VS Code, Sublime Text, and inbuilt editors in like Vim editor in Kali Linux in Linux. Usually now in nowadays Linux is coming with inbuilt Python. No need to install it. So Kali, if I install Kali Linux, it is inbuilt. There is pre-installed Python. You can say. So okay, that's all for today. Thank you very much.